What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is the final season for the Shy, season 5, episode 1. Now we got Kevin coming back, Kiesha, Jake, Papa, Tiffany, Jada. Yeah, so we got the whole crew coming back. We know that there was some ups and some downs in season 4, but we're about to pick up where we left off and see where exactly the crew is moving forward. Now, before we jump into this and break this down, remember tonight we're going live to talk about episode 1, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, make sure you hit that like button, and also follow me on Instagram. We're trying to get those followers back up to 25,000. Now we're going to jump into this. I'm not going to hold you guys up because it is the first episode. So let's see what our boy Kevin is going through, because you know he's been going through some growing pains also, being the only boy in the house. So let's jump into it. This is episode 1 of The Shy. If you remember back, Tiffany and Emmett, they did get married, but also within this marriage, they decided that they were going to have open relationships with other people. So you go do your thing, I do my thing. You don't bring nothing home, I don't bring nothing home. We are good to go. And we start the episode off and we see Emmett doing his thing on the side. Now we see Kevin and Lena. Now you remember Lena moved in at the end of season 4. She needed a place to stay, and this is where she's at. Her and Kevin, they kind of like each other, but it's a subtle likeness. Now they in here smoking before school, and of course they late for it. So y'all need to get up and dip on out. Now we have the new bachelor pad with Trig, Jake, and Rashad that moved in. Now Imani's not on the show anymore. We found out that Imani submitted a fake vaccination card, and that's why she's up off the show. But now we got the bachelor pad in order, and look at them praying over breakfast. I love to see my black men doing this. Papa got the braids, Papa's pool pit. Y'all remember the podcast? It was going crazy. It had about 37 people listening to it, but it was going crazy around the city. You know, his girl wanted some time apart because she's a rising star herself, and Papa was there to steal the shine. Jada done got her groove back. We know that she's messing with the younger gentleman now. Also, you know, she was going through some things, but she has family support, and hopefully she gets through all of this. But look at Jada, laid up with the young bull. Well, it turns out Emmett wasn't getting nothing on the side. Emmett was just dreaming. Well, Tiffany shows up and she's saying she's going to go stay with her parents for a little bit, with her mama's house, and she's taking EJ with him. Now, Emmett's looking at it like, dang, what do you mean you got to get some stuff together? It was your plan to have this open relationship. And this is why if you're married or if you're just dating, in this scenario, they're married, y'all should have been splitting these bills, because now Emmett got to take care of all the bills by herself, and she just hopped up and went to go live with her mama rent free while she's slanging dope on the side. Or a little bit of THC and edibles. But she's up and out of here, and we know that she's not going to be at mama house too much longer. EJ gonna be at grandma's house. Tiffany gonna be in these streets. And I love Tiffany too. Now they done got the whole crew together. Jake, Kev, even Jim was with them, Papa and Lena. Now they gotta drop Gemma off at school, and Jake wanted her to come to his tryouts for varsity. But she talking about she gonna be a little bit late. And you see Papa in his pool pit sweater in the back trying to get at Lena like, wait a minute, you and Kev, y'all like brother and sister, and I ain't blind. So what's up? I like what I see. But Lena shuts it down, tells Papa to close his eyes. Back at the little community center, when they show us, there's a guy in here just whooping on him. I'm talking about hitting him in the face non-stop, and everyone's just watching. I'm talking about adults got their cell phones out recording. He's thrashing this kid, and this kid ain't doing nothing but just sitting here taking him. It gets to the point where Trig and Rashad, they got to come and try to break this thing up because no one else is doing anything. Now, Trig and Rashad, we know that they the OGs. They trying to tell the young boys, what are y'all fighting for? All of that is stupid. There ain't no point of doing it. I tell y'all every week it ain't worth it no more, but that's just how these young kids are. And basically they fighting over blocks. And like you said, that's stupid. Y'all don't own anything. But Trig basically tells them, no, y'all volunteering here. Y'all gonna be here first thing in the morning. Now get up out of here. After y'all apologize to her. Now the guy that was getting whooped on with the afro, I be like, I ain't apologizing for nothing. I got whooped on. He need to be doing the apologizing. Well, it turns out one of the kids was the guy that killed Ronnie. You remember she was with Ronnie. They were outside the back of the little barbecue joint because it used to be barbecue before Emmett took it. And yeah, popped him right there in the back alley. So she's saying you invited a murderer in here. Now you see Shy make a joke talking about, I ain't know the kid had it in him. But what did they say earlier? These young kids, they wild. They don't have no remorse. Tiffany shows up to her mom's house with EJ. Now, mama, I like her. She looks at Tiffany and says, why do you have all these bags? You said a couple of nights. This look like you trying to stay for good. She's like, come on, ma, you do this. But ma, she's on her. She's like, is it something going on with you and Emmett, that open marriage you had? Why would you get married but want to have an open marriage? It doesn't make sense. Just stay single and do what you got to do. And also, why doesn't EJ have a coat on? You got this big nice coat on. You got the gloves, the mittens on. EJ ain't got on nothing but a little bitty Letterman. I thought EJ had on at least a Letterman. All he has on is a sweatshirt with a vest. Now, Tiffany's talking about, Mom, words have power. She said, if words had power, your daddy still be here. You wouldn't have no baby at the age of 16. Obviously, my words don't have no power. I said, I like this mama. I like Tiffany's mama. How you gonna tell your mama to be quiet when you living in her house? When you came to stay with her, you got a husband back at home. You got your own place. Go over there and tell Emmett and EJ to be quiet. Don't be coming up in here. Now you hear EJ talking about, I love you, Grandma. Boy, Grandma is not in the mood right now. Tiffany went back to her old room to get situated. She still got Bow Wow B2K up on the wall, the little lights up. Now, I tell you, when I moved out of my mom and daddy house, as soon as I moved out, that room didn't turn into a spare bedroom. That was just a place. They used all the closet space. They didn't redecorated the whole room. It don't even look like I lived there. But that was years ago, decades. We finally get to see Dre and Nina together. They in there. She's cooking things up. You know, they love each other. But we know about Nina. Then Kiesha comes down. Now, Kiesha, you remember she had a son. Now, his name is Little Ronnie. Named after Ronnie, the man that saved her. The man that actually got killed. The one that was with Tracy. Now, Keisha's talking about she wants to move out and go live on campus. It's a new chapter, starting fresh, her and her son. I don't think moving to a college campus with a kid is a good start, should I say. But this is what she wants to do. And you know, Dre is always on Keisha's side. Like, I think that's good. Most colleges are safer than normal places. But to have a kid there and try to go to college is already stressful enough. A kid is already stressful enough. But to have both of them and be in a college environment nonstop, that's a little rough. But you hear Nina asking, is this involving Christian? You remember young Christian that she started being involved with? Yeah, Kiesha got a lot going on since last we seen her. Emmett's in here talking to his pops, Darnell. Now, every time we see Darnell, this is the first sighting without him having his old earpiece in. And he's talking about, I don't want no Apple AirPods, none of that. That's the feds. But what we do here is Emmett trying to get some relationship advice from his pops, saying, how do I get Tiffany back? I've done everything. I've been cooking. I've been cleaning. And Darnell, he's basically like, man, fuck Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? You got to get over that and get ready to move on. But matter of fact, have a drink with me. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having a drink this early. This is what my father taught me to get over some things. Now, you shouldn't resort to drinking, especially when you're kind of down and out. That can lead to some badder things. Trig and Rashad, they at the jewelry store because Trig is looking for a ring because he's going to go ahead and propose to Imani. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this with Imani not being here, but they're here. Now, it's a 2-carat ring. Can't afford much, but 2-carat, 1-carat is still good. You can get your big stone 1-carat. You ain't got to spend all that bread. And Trig doesn't make that kind of money. Now, Rashad is saying that's one thing he admired about Trig. He was always doing it for the right reasons. He's looking out for family members. He's looking out for the community. He's looking out for Imani. He let Rashad live with him. So Rashad is saying you never did it for clout. It was always genuine, whatever you do for somebody when you help them. And Trig writes down his name on there because, you know, you got to get it packaged up. And Rashad's like, I forgot your name was Victor. He's like, yeah, man, I forgot it was too. People call me Trig all the time. Well, it turns out Imani isn't in Chicago. Imani is down in St. Louis. They say she's supposed to be back tomorrow, so we're going to see how that plays out. Now, Emmett, he been drinking with Pops. Now he's down and out looking at old pictures of him and Tiffany. And you hear Darnell in the back talking about, boy, put her in your rear view mirror. Now, Emmett, he starts talking about, Dad, have you ever had thoughts or dreams about other women? And he starts telling them, yeah, last night I had doggy style. I couldn't get it off. I had to start thinking about your mama. Darnell ain't Darnell ain't gonna hold back. We know that. But Emmett ain't trying to hear his dad smashing a chick thinking about his mama. No one's trying to hear that from their dad, especially in the morning and you've been drinking. But it had to be said. Emmett hopped up. He said he got to do something. Where did he go? To Mama Tiffany's house. Now, when he gets there, he starts throwing up because he been drinking that yak early. Now, Mama Tiffany, I like her because the first thing she said, what the fuck are you doing? He's throwing up in the front yard. Come on, man. Do that out on the street. Now, Emmett's over here. He drunk. Tiffany talk about, why you drinking Henny? You know that gets you emotional. And he's like, my daddy brought that. But see, girl, we get each other. We know each other. You should know what your significant other does when they get on some drink, what kind of foods they like. That's just what it is. But Emmett wants his family back. He don't really care about none of the other girls. He just wants Tiffany and EJ back. But Tiffany ain't trying to hear it. And you hear Mama Tiffany up there talking about, I hear y'all in there. Yeah, y'all shut up. Y'all in my house. She ain't playing that. Now, Tiffany, she gets a little upset too. Emmett does admit that he was scared to marry Tiffany. Now, Tiffany does say it felt like she's been chasing him her whole life. And then once she became a wife, it wasn't what she thought it was. But Emmett wants to be that husband now. And he's saying, I told you I smashed Dom because I wanted to be real. Now, Tiffany, she keeps saying she wants to figure out what she wants to do with her life. Well, one thing, you should be a mother. So we got that figured out. The next, you sell edibles, so we got that figured out. Now you just got to figure out your wife. You gonna stay in a relationship or not? But Emmett doesn't want to hear that, and that hurts him. Jada and the young bull, you know, Emmett doesn't like him, but he respects what's going on here because he wants his mom to be happy. Now he's asking Jada, I think I should move in here. You know, I'm over here a lot. And Jada's saying, nah, I kind of like who we have here. You know, you come over, we do our thing, you dip out. So he's like, all right, at least think about it. So she says, I'm going to go take a shower and think about it. He also lets her know the shower head is still broke. She's like, you said you were going to fix it last week. And I like what he did here. He told her, oh, I don't live here. If I lived here, I'd fix some things. And that makes perfect sense. I don't live here, so why would I fix the shower head? I'm letting you know, the owner of the shower head, that is broke. Now you let me move in, then I get to fixing things without even asking. Now listen to this. Tiffany is getting marriage advice from Kiesha, asking her, does she think that she is wrong for not wanting to be a wife anymore? And Keisha's like, nah, if it's your truth, then go ahead. Hey man, I don't know how this works. She used to mess with Emmett. I don't know. It is what it is. But we do see that she's getting a text from Christian. You sure you don't want me to come with you to look at the dorm? Now Kiesha, she's going to go look at the dorms. Tiffany is rolling with her. Tiffany is over here texting Rob. Y'all remember Rob? Yeah, they over here flirting. But she's asking, hey, what are you and Christian going to do? And Keisha's like, I don't know yet, but it was a soft spot to land on after everything that happened. So they're about to go look at the dorms. They both got a guy that they're interested in. We don't know where either one of them are going to go because deep down inside, they both still want Emmett. They just ain't admitted it. Now it's time for varsity tryouts. Jake is out there. We got everyone over here watching. Now some of these kids, they look older than me. So I'm looking at it like this can't be varsity. This has to be D3 athletics in college or something because the talent ain't really there. But they look old. And Jake is out here blowing layups. All he hit was straight backboard. Then he gets stolen. Oh my goodness. We looking at Jake like, yeah, just stay on JV, brother. You know you doing bad when your whole crew over there watching him. Aisha was like, is it me or is he trash? Like, is this the way he's supposed to be hooping? And look at Papa's face. Come on, Jake. Jake going up for layups. They slapping it. I'm talking about sending it to the wall. He on the ground. They standing over him, talking bad to him. No love. Now, Gemma shows up late because she had other things to do. And Jake, we just found out he didn't make the team. So when he goes out in the hall, she's like, maybe you just had a bad day or something. Well, tryouts was only one day. And she asked him, what are you trying to go to the NBA? And he's like, nah, I just want to be good at something. So what she's trying to do is motivate him and let him know that basketball isn't the end all be all. Now, I knew in the 8th grade people that basketball wasn't for me. So I didn't even try out freshman year. Now, I did make the team freshman year though. Go figure that out because I had some hops back then. But Jake, it ain't over with. It ain't over with. Gemma tried to hand him a heart-shaped cake. Jake looks at it like, I don't want that shit. And she's looking like, dang, it's really like that, man. All you did was get cut, bro. This is your first time trying out for varsity. You just got cut, man. Emmett in the back room, and he's singing his heart out. Trig walks in. He's like, damn, it's really that bad, brother? He's like, nah, man, you know me. I'm a player. I ain't. Nah, man, it is. Tiffany left me. Now, I've never been heartbroken to the point where I'm singing songs like that. But, man, to each his own. If that's what gets you through. Trig's telling them, bruh, you'll bounce back. And that's what a good friend's supposed to do. I see my homeboy crying over a girl like this. Hey, man, it's going to be all right, bro. Because after tonight, yeah, man, we're going to take you out. You're gonna bounce back. But tomorrow, they're having the proposal party here. This is where Trig wants to propose to Imani. Now, Emmett's like, oh, yeah. We're going to be all right with that. And I already told y'all, we want to see how they're going to do this. What exactly is going to happen to Imani? Or are they just going to replace Imani? While Trig was trying to talk to Emmett to plan out the proposal party for tomorrow, you remember the young boy from the community center? Well, he broke out the window. And Emmett, he's like, hey, man, Trig, if you need any help, let me know. Because he wasn't about to go out there and get in this action. But Trig chases him down and he starts whooping on him. He starts choking him out. But it turned out that this was his plan. He wanted to have a video footage of Trig putting his hands on him so they can go back and say, hey, this is what Trig is doing out here in these streets. Now, they all over at Kev's house. You know we got the crew together. And Papa's like, all right, we need to talk about what just happened. And he's talking about the basketball tryouts. And he's asking Jake, what happened out there? Did you know that you were that bad? And even Kev is thinking, did you practice? Because Papa is going to be the announcer, the new school announcer. And he said it's going to suck not saying Jake's name. And he asked Jake, did you stereotype yourself and think that you were going to make the team because you was a black boy from Chicago? Jake was like, man, I just thought I'd make it. And they're like, damn, Jake, you've been talking about this for weeks, man. You were trash out there. They Jake's boys. They know that Jake can't play no basketball. I know which one of my homeboys can hoop. I know who to ask to do certain things because I know they capable of doing it. But Jake is not one that you would ask to play basketball. Kiesha's really been thinking about the next chapter in her life. So she sends a voice message to Christian. Now it's a long one. And she's basically saying she enjoyed the time getting to know him. He's been a good friend to her. But at this point, she wants to know who she is outside of a relationship and focus on herself and the relationship with her son. Now, this is a lengthy voice message. I shortened it down, but if I'm Christian, I would have either not responded or just text back okay. But I told y'all when he first met her that he may have been potentially wasting his time. And if someone doesn't have the decency to come tell you to your face what she just put in this voice message, then you don't really need, you don't owe them a response back to that message. She couldn't even tell you to your face, hey, I don't think we should be in a relationship. She just sent you a voice message. But this is her right. Tiffany gets home to Mama Tiffany's house. She's over here texting Rob talking about, I just left looking at dorms. But what I tell y'all in the P Valley? Stop leaving these kids with y'all grandma and pick up y'all kids. That ain't what your grandparents is for. They already raised you. They ain't raising no more kids. And don't you use the Lord's name in vain inside of Mama Tiffany's house either. Tiffany calls Rob and he answers. Now we hear Mama Tiffany in the back still yelling. Now he's talking about, won't you come move in with me so you ain't got to worry about your mama? She's like, nah, I'm not going to move in and be a in-house smash buddy. And he's like, already, you know what I'm saying? I'm already good in that department. Don't worry about it. But you and your son, you can move in. And you looking at Tiffany's face. If I ain't got to hear my mama yapping, this might be potentially the move. Now, this is one of the situations where we say, you aren't asking for it, but you're putting yourself in a situation to potentially be harmed. Shy comes and wakes up Trig because you remember the young boy, they had the whole little incident recorded. Now, of course, when you watch these videos, you never knew what happened before or after it. Now, we know the only reason that Trig did this is because they broke out his window. But the only thing that the viewers are seeing was Trig running down a young, innocent black man and whooping on him. Now, if you look at the comments, it says, some folks never change. Why is a grown ass man whooping on that child? It's It all looks bad. Now you're going to have to try to tell everybody, oh, he broke out the window. It's like, he's just a kid. It doesn't matter what you did as an adult. They're going to say he's just a kid. Gemma's at home. She says she needs to take a mental health day. Now, we didn't have any of these days when we were growing up, but she's thinking about everything that's transpired between her and Jake. And now her dad comes in and he's talking to her saying, I want us to have a close relationship and not just be father-daughter. I want you to come and talk to me about anything that you need to talk to me about. Now, Gemma is saying she doesn't know why Jake is treating her like an asshole right now. And should she have stayed with Kevin? She's thinking about what it would have been. Now, what I do appreciate is her father saying you shouldn't switch somebody out just because it was you had a bad moment. And right now, y'all kids. So y'all basically just testing out life on each other. And then you're going to grow apart once we go to college, go to get jobs. Everyone you knew in high school, you aren't going to know. So he's at least letting her know, don't compare someone to someone else because it was a bad moment. Use this as a learning situation. And now your new announcer, Papa from the pulpit. Now he's giving a shout out to everybody, but he does say, let me take a moment of silence for my homeboy Jake. Everyone's looking around like, what happened to Jake? He said, no, he's still with us. He just died at that basketball tryouts yesterday. He was on the ground looking like trash. Everybody in the crowd laughing. You know Jake isn't going to like this at all. Papa get to talking reckless. I told you Jake wasn't going to stand for that. He talking about F you, Papa. Papa says, see what happens when you don't have that father figure in your house? Jake said, your daddy ain't shit. He said, at least I got one. And then everybody just started throwing bottles at him because the majority of these kids don't have a father figure at their home. Shad and Trig, they pull up on him. He's smoking a little bit of weed out here. Now, Shad said he wanted to talk to him because we know Shad just got released from jail and he's been here before. I was that kid. I do have a rap sheet. I got to say that I'm a felon on these job applications. Now, the kid's trying to act tough. But what you hear Trig say is, taking a body ain't easy. I've done that before. And what he's saying is, I know about you. So you're going to show up at the community center tomorrow morning. You're going to be there. Because if not, they might accidentally let the Ronnie death slip out. Now, I'm not saying I know who killed Ronnie, but maybe an anonymous person knows who killed Ronnie. Now, y'all heard Darnell saying he had Dom the other day and he had to start thinking about Jada. Well, he showed up. He actually fixed the shower head. He got that water pressure up so she could have a little bit of fun in there and they get the kissing. They get the kissing. Kevin, Janae, they're talking about everything that happened. And guys, we're a little bit different. Yeah, we'll get into it with our homeboy. We might even fight a little bit, but we still gonna be cool. Now, Lene is saying it only takes one time for somebody to say something to her and she on their ass and it ain't no coming back. But that's neither here or there. We're going to sweep that up under the rug. We're going to keep it moving. Now, Kev, you remember, Kev was hustling people playing video games. Now, he's back with Lene this time, and he's telling the white boys, hey, y'all want some real competition? Now, they're all about to play. It looks like a shooter, but I'm going to tell you something before they even start. All three of them are going to be losers because not one of them has their controller turned on. There's not one light here, or here that is lit up for them to play any kind of video game. Now, the two white boys, they over there going crazy. You know, you and your boy, y'all in that rhythm. Y'all done played the game before, so y'all over here whooping on them. Now, Kev, he's starting to have a little bit of flashbacks to when he was younger and he had to squeeze that trigger. But Kev ain't let it get to him. In the nose, out the mouth. He controlled his breathing, got his heart rate down, and he actually beat these two and said, now we can go. Because they thought they were about to just run over Kevin. Kiesha's in the room and Christian finally responds back. Now, it took him a while to get his thoughts together, and he's saying it's hard being a good guy, especially when you're black. You know, people think you're being fake. He thanked Kiesha for accepting him in all of his corny ways, and you know, she handled his emotions the way he handled hers. So he still wanted to be there, but unfortunately, she didn't want anything to do with him after this. Let's just be friends. I'm going to continue on after he done all of this. So basically, Christian just wasted his time. He did gain a friendship if that's something you want out of it. But when we get older, what is a friendship? They come and they go. But true love, it stays there. But Christian told her, hey, I'm there if you ever need me. So he's not closing the door all the way. I don't like this Rob guy because he has me and Emma's Tiffany and little EJ over at the house. Now, I don't know what kind of shirt he has on. It looks leather, but he's telling Tiffany, you and little man, y'all can stay here as long as you want. Now, Tiffany, you don't really know him. All y'all were doing was smashing and you were selling weed to him. Now you moving in with him out of nowhere? You weren't asking for it, but you're putting yourself in a bad situation. Just got EJ laid up in front of some other dude. I'm glad I'm not a baby daddy. Now we find out how they wrote Imani out of the show. Now, Imani is still in St. Louis because she's seen the video of Trig whooping on that young boy. Now, Imani stayed in St. Louis to get some time together. Now, you would think Imani knows Trig well enough that as soon as she seen the video, she would call Trig and talk to Trig about that. But since Imani in real life submitted a fake vaccination card or something along that, didn't really get the shot, they had to get Imani up out of here. Shy is trying to make the best out of the situation. It didn't go as planned, but guess what? We all here. We can celebrate each other. Let's celebrate life. They got the Cupid Shuffle going on. The man behind the register getting it in. But Trig looking out the window like, damn, I done bought this ring. The last thing we see is Tracy. Now she's at her house and she gets a knock on her door. She opens it up and she's like, Q, what are you doing here? And guess who else shows up? Douda. The mayor is back. Now he shows up and she's like, what are you doing? He said, I'm back for you. So this could be bad in the city, especially, Trig told him to get the hell up out of here. All right, there you go. Episode 1 of The Chi. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Douda, aka Otis, being back. Because Trig told him to get the hell up out of here. And with Imani being gone, Trig has a lot of downtime. So I want to know, what do you think about Douda being back? Also, make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live after show discussion for the first episode of The Chi. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.